Shalom and welcome, my sisters. As you can see, today we have a special guest. This video is going to be about marriage. We're just going to be providing insight on our marriage, and hopefully this video will be helpful to any sister looking to be married or who are already married. So stay tuned. So first and foremost, I would like to properly welcome my husband, my Lord, my King, my covering, my boo. Say hello, boo. Shalom.
Shalom, sisters.
Before we get into it, I know some of you may be a little bit taken back that I called him Lord. We'll provide you with the scripture on why I refer to him as Lord. We should reverence our husband as such. For example, for the ladies who do work and have a job and it has a male figure over them, we would show them respect and call them sir or Mr. Not just, oh, hey, Bob, hey, Tim, how's it going? You know, we would show them respect. So if you can show respect to male figures who aren't in your household, who aren't leading you, who aren't taking care of you, then you should be able to, without a doubt, refer to your husband the same way. Just as Sarah reverenced Abraham as Lord. Moving on. We're gonna go ahead and give you all a chance to get to know us a little bit more so you can understand where we're coming from when we give you the information that is going to be given in this video. We'll go on to the first question.
Okay, so how we met was back in 2010 in December. We both were stationed in Italy at the time. I had just got back from leave and she had just checked on board. You was there for what, like a couple of days?
Yeah.
So we met in the bar and I walked in and I seen her in a little corner and I was like, okay, that's the new chick. All right. So, so yeah, I would say probably like 30 minutes went past before we actually approached each other and had conversation. She approached me first.
Okay, I did.
But so it was some great conversation throughout the night, and then somehow we got on the subject of dancing. I was probably one of the best dancers on the ship, so I was like, okay, you say you can dance, so let's do it then. Let's dance battle. So we had a good old dance battle, and I won. Yeah. Yeah, and I would say after that night, we've been inseparable.
I would like to refer to it as it was love at first dance. You know, so how some people say, oh, it was love at first sight. And, you know, at first sight, you know, I thought he was a cool guy, you know, all that. But then once we danced, it was some type of chemistry that happened. And I was just like, this is the man that I'm going to marry. So, and from then on, clearly we were inseparable 9 years later. I didn't grow up with having both my parents together. I was raised mostly by my father. I was definitely a daddy's girl growing up. And my father instilled some strong core values into me that helped me throughout my life. He taught me to be very independent. I shouldn't have to depend on anyone. I should be able to take care of myself. I didn't have to depend on a man. So he raised a strong-willed woman. And it helped me throughout my life. Like, I thank you, Daddy. Love you so much. But everything my daddy taught me went out the window, or it should have went out the window when I got married. So I continue to instill those values within my marriage. My daddy couldn't teach me how to be a wife, and I wasn't growing up around a wife to teach me how to be a wife. So that kind of hindered my marriage in the beginning because I needed to everything that I learned, I needed to trash that and, you know, start new. So that's pretty much how my background. What about you, honey?
It was the complete opposite for me. So I grew up with a single mother home. For a time period, I lived with my stepdad all the way up to about like the age 6 or 7. And from there on out, it was just my mother, typical black, you know, family. And I was the oldest out of 2 younger sisters. And with me, my mother, she did not know how to raise a man because she's not a man. So I had those issues also being able to fulfill my role as a husband when I finally got married because I only knew, the woman side of things. So I definitely, when I got married and things like that, like it was kind of a struggle because I didn't know how to lead a woman properly because I didn't have that proper structure growing up. So we've been married for about a little bit over 9 years, and our marriage started off with us only being together for about 7 or 8 months. We were real young, 20 and 19 years old. Didn't know anything about life at the time, but hey, we knew we loved each other. That's all we knew. So
love is all you need, right?
so the challenges really started after I left for deployment and then came back, because that was the time where we actually was able to spend time with each other 24/7. So like what my wife mentioned earlier, she grew up with a father and he taught her how to be independent and strong-willed. So that's all she knew. And I did not have that manly figure. But I always sought out for it because I knew when I was younger that, I was behind the curve in some of the things of being a young man. So I knew I had to go out and seek that masculine figure to be able to learn how to properly be a man. But I sought out the wrong type of male figures. I didn't really get that proper, solid male figure or that proper leader, and probably until I reached the age of like 26 or 27. But still, back to early on in our marriage, like with her being the way she was and me being the way that I was, not being, I guess you could say, quote on, the alpha male. I all I knew was happy wife, happy life. To please my wife in all aspects of life, and do whatever I got to do to take care of her, and she'll be good. Everything be good, cause she's happy, then the whole household is gonna be happy. But little did I know that was not the right thing to do.
Yes, I would have to, second what he said. What he said was what he knew was happy wife, happy life, and that's what I knew too. And me growing up, learning to be a strong-willed black woman, I wasn't gonna back down to him either. So I made sure he knew. Oh, happy wife, happy life. Whatever I say goes. Because that's the stigma, that was out there in the world, and that's what I just copied and went on with that. Whatever situations came up in the household, I made sure it was my way or the highway, and I made sure. I also instilled happy wife, happy life, and clearly I was way off the mark. I did not hit that nail at all. Although our marriage was, we were living it up, happy wife, happy life, and I guess we were sort of happy at that point. It wasn't the right type of happy, and that candle dwindled down really quick, just because it wasn't the right type of the way marriage was meant to be.
Can you let them know some of the things you were talking about, like some examples?
So I was definitely the way that I talked to my husband was very disrespectful. I was very aggressive. I was basically, our roles were reversed from what they were supposed to be. I was the aggressive one in the relationship. I was not feminine at all. I don't even know how to go deeper into it. I was aggressive. And I was aggressive. I was loud. I yelled so much. Like every day I came home from work, I fussed. Like that's all I did was fuss, yell, and that was just not healthy. Ooh, goodness, just thinking about it, just ugh.
Yeah, that's very true. Cause like me, I didn't understand like what was her issue, because like Like, you have somebody that sit here and do all these things for you, but you can still be a tyrant, still be mad at every little thing, complain about every little thing. Like whoever told us happy wife, happy life, they was tripping. They lied, cause I'm gonna tell you right now, like it don't matter what you do for somebody, they can still, I don't even know what I was about to say, but I don't even know what to say on this, but like, yeah, it was a bad time. It really was. That was a bad time in our marriage. I would say we probably wouldn't have made it out of it if the mindset of how she acted didn't change. And not to put all the blame on her, but some of it was on me too. Not stepping up as a man and taking my mantle as the king of the house and this and that. And even though I did try to at some times, she would always come back at me like another dude. So like, yeah, it was times where we had some pretty bad shouting matches because she was very masculine, a very masculine woman.
So all praises, we did make it out that toxic environment, that toxic marriage, and we grew into a more righteous marriage. This is when we started to read the Bible more, went to church more, we got more into our faith and more into our beliefs. And then we also got to mingle with other couples who had the righteous marriage that we were striving to get as well.
With us getting closer to God and putting Him in between our relationship, we definitely grew stronger within our marriage. But also, we both started to understand and learn our roles as man and woman, husband and wife. I became more masculine in my approach in my marriage and running my household, and she became more feminine in her approach and learning how to be a submissive wife and being a mother to my children.
I'm telling you, submission is the key thing that I learned. Wives, if you are wives now and you don't know submission, I'm telling you, get on that train, because that is like the key point of being a wife, is submitting, and it's hard.
Everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's hard. Well, it started off being hard. Later on, it becomes natural. For me, it was hard because, like I said, I was raised to be a strong, independent woman, and for if he said something, oh hey, do it this way, I'm like, what? But now I'm like, oh, do it this way, okay, no problem, honey, I got it. So submit, I'm telling you. And then I also enjoyed backing off and putting the reins in his hand. Before I did that, I felt like, I gotta make sure this is done, I gotta do it this way, I gotta have it like this, and it was a lot of stress on me. And I didn't take it as it being a lot of stress, it was just like, hey, this is my job, this is how I'm supposed to have it, and all that stuff. But now that I can hand the reins to him, and I can focus on the things that a wife is supposed to be focusing on, it feels great. It also helps with the intimacy level. Like, I was more delicate and soft towards him, which made him become more masculine towards me. Yeah,
let me say something on that one. Yeah, definitely. When your wife submits, that makes a man realize that you need him. And once you show that you need him, that makes him want to be more masculine. That makes him want to, be Superman and, do things that he needs to do as a man. I mean, I know some men, it might be a little bit different, but if you showing that you don't need your husband, you don't need his leadership and this and that, then only a few things is going to happen. He going to find somebody else or y'all going to lose all that intimacy. The communication is not going to be as well. Relationships not going to be well. the upbringing of your children is not gonna be well. Like the whole house is gonna be affected, and it's real important for each person to play their role in the household, especially women, because a woman can tear down her house. A foolish woman really can do that. Sisters, we must realize a man does have a role that he must play. He must provide food, clothing, and the duty of marriage. Also leading his family and teaching his family about the Most High, his laws, statutes, and commandments. So for him to be so focused on pleasing you, then he is out of order. He's not able to do what he is purposed to do as a man. I'm not saying that he shouldn't care about his wife. That's not true at all. He's supposed to, treat his wife as if it was himself. Take a second to realize what you're doing, to your marriage, and not only your marriage, but his lineage. If the children see that you're out of order, that's going to continue to go on, throughout the generations, because all they seen growing up was mama talking back to dad, mama not listening to dad, and pretty much you emasculating this man, their father, their whole lives. And that plays a real big part in the generations to come. So we have to be mindful, especially sisters. You have to be mindful of how you approach things with dealing with your husband.
So I have a few tips. Ladies, read Proverbs chapter 31, the whole entire chapter. It goes into a virtuous woman, what you should strive to be, what area, if you're lacking any areas, this chapter will cover it completely. Proverbs chapter 31, virtuous woman. I'm telling you, read it inside and out, understand it inside and out. That's like the foundation of just being a woman, being a mother, being a wife, being a lady. My second tip I have is, there is no happy wife, happy life. If you want to have a biblically structured marriage, there is no happy wife, happy life. I can't stress that to you. I can't stress it enough.
She ain't lying about that.
Women, we do not wear the pants. We do not. Why marry a man if you're gonna take the role as a man? That makes no sense. So you're not doing anybody a favor here. You're hurting everyone. You're hurting your husband, you're hurting yourself. It's no point in getting married if you're gonna stay as a masculine woman and take on the role of a man. We do not wear the pants. We don't. Understand that, ladies, and that is so important. Ladies, if you feel that you need to be in that dominant role, that should tell you have some underlying issues that you need to work out amongst yourself, God, and whoever else. You're not ready. You are not ready for marriage.
When I took on the role of finally becoming the man that I was supposed to be in my marriage, it was quite a power struggle between my wife and I, because she still wanted to hang on to the keys of her being the dominant one in the marriage and her driving the car. but
and hitting the curb.
Yeah, and hitting the curb pretty much. Yeah, but like, if you see your man trying to step up and get in that masculine role, follow your butt back. Because once he realized that he's supposed to be the one that's supposed to be driving, and you're the one that's supposed to be in the passenger seat, he's not gonna back down. He's not. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you're going to be the one to lead that situation. Because a masculine man is not gonna fall back or anything like that. Hey, I hate to say it, but you're gonna be the one packing the bags. It's either because he removes you from the home, or it's because the Most High removes you from the situation. Y'all gotta learn how to submit and fall back and let the man lead.
Ladies, we have to show that, show our husbands that we need them. Because we do. Why would a husband or a man want to be with somebody who doesn't show that they need him? It's no point. Men can't cherish or protect a woman that feel like they're an equal to their man.
Keep in mind, the woman was made for the man, not the man for the woman. So that's something that y'all really need to do some self-examination on.
We've come across some great books that will show you the structure of a biblical marriage, that will, guide women on the right path just to being the helpmeet. Women, ladies, sisters, we are the helpmeet, and that's something that we gotta realize. The sooner you realize it, the better things can go. But we will provide those books for you. The very last thing I will say is, sisters, our sole purpose of being created was to help our lords, our kings, our husbands, our coverings, was to help them meet their goals. And with that, I'll say shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
I hope this helped, and see you next time. Wait. Sisters, how could I completely forget to mention one of the key elements into having a marriage? Sex. I don't know why it slipped my mind. So I will briefly hit on the topic of sex. Although it's going to be brief, it's going to be very clear. Ladies, sisters, sex is not a special tool that we should be allowed to use against our husbands. It is not something that we use when we're mad we're not getting our way, when our husband is frustrating us. It's nothing that we're supposed to use in a negative way towards our husband. Know that if you are one of those sisters that is using sex as a weapon against your husband in a negative way, it will backfire on you. Don't be mad. Don't start crying. Don't lose hope in your marriage if you are the one that's holding out on sex, using it in a negative way. Just know, you doing this will be the very reason why your husband will go out and find something else to please him, because of you not obeying to submit to your husband with his sexual needs. We have our job and we have our role, and submitting, especially with sex, is definitely included in that. With that being said, I want to do a quick exercise. I need you ladies to make 3 columns. The first column is going to have words that the Most High does not want us to portray. It's called works of the flesh. So a few of those words are variance, which means a disagreeable person, someone who's always having a disagreement. Emulations, which means jealousy or a competitive person. Wrath, strife, seditions, which means a rebel, and envy. That's the first column. The second column are words that the Most High wants us to portray, the fruits of the Spirit. I'll name a few of them: meek, kind, temperance, peace, long-suffering, and gentleness. And now this last column is going to be how the world portrays the attributes of a woman. So these words, I'll name a few. You can Google these as well. It'll show up on Wikipedia. The world says that women should be nurturing, sensitivity, modesty, cooperative, sweetness, supportiveness, gentleness, empathy, affection, tenderness, helpful, and devoted. So sisters, having these 3 columns, I need you to look at them, examine them, and I need you to circle the words that best describe you. This should give you the opportunity to examine yourself, where you are in life. Are you in the column where the Most High does not want you to display those attributes? Or are you in the column where the Most High does want you to display the attributes? Which one, ladies? I highly recommend that you ladies obtain and read these books, especially with your spouse, because it will better your role as a woman. There are 3 books: The Them and Him by Dr. Gina Murray, Men Leads by Cutno, and Created to Be His Helpmeet by Debi. With that being said, I'll leave you with this quote from Created to Be His Helpmeet. If you look at your husband and can't find any reason to want to help him, and I know some of you are married to men like that, then look to Christ and know that it is He who made you to be a helpmeet. You serve Christ by serving your husband, whether your husband deserves it or not. All right, see you next time, sisters.
This love is gonna be for my